Do you know a country that is so peaceful that it is boring, without war, no coups, no revolutions or riots? It is Uzbekistan, home to the second largest open pit gold mine in the world, and extremely attractive and seductive women. This country may sound a bit unfamiliar, but you have probably heard about the things they own, you just haven't paid attention. So, what are the 13 strange and interesting facts about Uzbekistan? Let's explore. Women in Uzbekistan often wear everyday clothing such as jeans, shirts or t-shirts, including short-sleeve styles. Many people appreciate the diverse beauty found in Uzbekistan, which reflects a blend of cultural influences. For instance, Karamova Alina, born in 1998, is of Russian-Uzbek heritage and is admired for her distinct features. In some rural parts of Uzbekistan, there is a traditional custom where brides bathe in a mixture of milk and herbs, believed to bring good fortune. In interviews, some Uzbek women expressed openness toward marrying Vietnamese men, although many were unfamiliar with Vietnam's capital, Hanoi. Uzbekistan's beauty and cultural practices often draw attention internationally. While the majority of the population is Muslim, clothing choices vary widely, and not all women choose to wear the hijab. This reflects the country's unique historical and cultural background as a former Soviet republic. Historically, there were government restrictions on religious attire, including headscarves, particularly around 2012. These restrictions were reportedly eased after 2016, following leadership changes. Discussions around this policy remain part of Uzbekistan's modern cultural history. What does beauty mean to you? Is it about appearance, culture, or something deeper? Comment and chat with me. If you are single and worried about marriage, you are not alone. Many young people in Uzbekistan face similar challenges. The country's birth rate has been gradually declining since the 1950s, partly because weddings there can be very expensive. On average, a wedding celebration may cost up to $18,000. This amount can be especially difficult to manage since the average monthly income in Uzbekistan ranges from about $90 to $300, and around 12.8% of the population lies below the poverty line. Because of these financial pressures, many couples must save for years or borrow money to meet social expectations for weddings. In response, the Uzbek government introduced counseling programs in 2018 to encourage more modest celebrations. However, these initiatives have faced challenges in adoption, and lavish weddings remain common, including among public figures. But just as the weight of weddings drains young couples, another treasure hidden beneath Uzbekistan's deserts tells a very different story. Can you guess what's buried there? Uzbekistan is home to one of the largest gold mines in the world. While global gold prices can reach as high as $2,400 per ounce, Uzbekistan is widely recognized for its significant gold reserves. According to data from the U.S. Geological Survey, the country holds about 5,300 tons of gold, ranking 5th globally. The Kyzylkum Desert is also believed to contain an estimated 3,200 tons of untapped reserves. In 2024, Uzbekistan is projected to produce around 120 tons of gold, while China, the leading producer, extracts about 350 tons. The Central Bank of Uzbekistan is considered the second largest seller of gold in the world, with about 25 tons sold annually, following Kazakhstan. The Muruntau gold mine, located in the mountains southwest of the Kyzylkum Desert, is the second largest open-pit gold mine in the world, surpassed only by the Nevada gold mine in the United States. Muruntau contains approximately 171 million ounces of gold, equivalent to more than 5,320 tons, and has been in operation since 1969. For comparison, Russia's Kupol deposit in Chukotka is estimated to hold about 4,500 tons of gold. However, mining there is challenging due to extreme conditions, with winter temperatures dropping to minus 50 degrees Celsius and the site being more than 2,200 kilometers from the nearest town. The remote location and severe weather make mining operations especially difficult. Today, modern workers' camps in these regions are well equipped with amenities such as gyms, libraries, music rooms, and enclosed walkways to ensure safer and more comfortable conditions during harsh weather. In 2018, An unusual incident occurred when a plane transporting gold from the Kupol mine experienced a malfunction during takeoff, resulting in about 3.4 tons of gold, nearly 200 bars, falling onto the runway at Yakutsk Airport. Fortunately, authorities quickly recovered 172 bars without incident. Culturally, gold also plays a symbolic role in Uzbekistan. A traditional custom involves wearing gold tooth crowns, historically regarded as a sign of status and wealth. This practice, which has also been observed in other former Soviet countries, varies today but remains part of the region's cultural identity. The price of gold in Uzbekistan is typically about $200 lower per ounce compared to some international markets. In 2024, the Central Bank of Uzbekistan increased its reserves by 11 tons, bringing the total to about 391.9 tons. Before continuing, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, please hit the notification bell and subscribe. It helps this channel so much, and if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Uzbekistan's cotton industry, often referred to as white gold, plays a crucial role in the nation's economy, accounting for about 17% of its exports. Each year, the country produces roughly 3.5 million bales of cotton, ranking it among the world's top 10 producers. Approximately 1.5 million hectares of land are devoted to cotton cultivation, which is central to Uzbekistan's agricultural sector. This industry provides significant seasonal employment, particularly in rural areas, involving nearly 1/3 of the population during the harvest. Cotton exports bring in about $1 billion annually, with major markets in Asia and Europe. In the past, international organizations, including the International Labor Organization, reported concerns regarding the use of forced labor in the cotton sector. These concerns included reports of large-scale participation of students and public sector employees. However, by the year 2020, monitoring bodies noted significant reductions in such practices following government reforms. Environmental challenges remain, especially the shrinking of the Aral Sea, which has been significantly affected by the extensive irrigation needed for cotton cultivation. Cotton may be called Uzbekistan's white gold, but there's another staple that holds an even deeper meaning in people's hearts, and it's something you eat every single day. In Uzbekistan, bread holds a very special place in people's hearts. There is even a belief that bread is a gift from God, and many treat it with deep respect, never letting it touch the ground. If you look closely, you will notice that almost all types of bread in Uzbekistan are round rather than rectangular or long. The round shape symbolizes the sun, which brings light and life and represents completeness and perfection in Uzbek culture. These breads are beautifully decorated using a traditional wooden and metal stamp called a chekich. Baking bread in Uzbekistan involves a unique and traditional method. Bakers use a clay tandoor oven that reaches very high temperatures, about 400 degrees Celsius. The dough is placed carefully on the inner walls of the oven. This requires skill and caution, as the baker must work very close to the intense heat. Bread here is not just food, it carries cultural and spiritual meaning. At weddings, after prayers, the bride and groom's families break bread and share it with everyone, a gesture believed to bring luck and blessings. When a child is born, bread is placed in the crib under the pillow to wish the child a fortunate life. Families with children serving in the army often follow a tradition of having the child take a bite of bread before leaving, keeping the rest at home as a symbol of hope for their safe return. Hospitality is also deeply tied to bread. Guests in Uzbek homes are always welcomed with bread at the table. The city of Tashkent is sometimes called the City of Bread, not because it produces the most or best bread, but due to a famous story from World War II, when the people of Tashkent generously shared their bread with those in need during a time of hardship. Uzbekistan is widely recognized for its rich culinary traditions and vibrant street food culture, especially its meat-based dishes. During the Soviet period, aspects of Uzbek cuisine were heavily influenced, and some traditional practices were less widely observed. Today, however, the streets of Uzbekistan are once again filled with lively food markets and authentic flavors. The people of Uzbekistan proudly consider their country the heart of plov, a traditional pilaf dish beloved across Central Asia. Local restaurants begin preparing this dish as early as 8 in the morning, using massive cauldrons rather than small pots. These cauldrons hold large amounts of meat, rice, chickpeas, carrots, and oil, for example. A typical preparation might use about 100 kilos of meat and 40 liters of sunflower oil. The cooking process starts by combining the meat and oil in the cauldron until the meat is thoroughly cooked. Carrots and chickpeas are then added, followed by rice, the key ingredient of Uzbekistan's national dish. The plov is left to cook for hours under covered trays until perfectly done. Before serving, chefs often say a short prayer and then mix the ingredients, creating the dish's characteristic golden color from the carrots. When visiting Uzbekistan, you'll notice 3 staple elements in the cuisine: bread, rice, and meat. Meat varieties include beef, lamb, and in some households, horse meat, a traditional ingredient in certain regional recipes. Some health observers have noted that the high consumption of both meat and cooking oils may contribute to heart health challenges among older populations, though others debate whether oils rather than meat are the primary factor. Another popular food is samsa, a pastry common in rural areas that resembles a seashell and can be filled with chicken or other meats. Many rural families continue to bake their bread and pastries using traditional clay ovens, which adds to the distinct flavor of Uzbek cuisine. Nearly every household has such an oven, highlighting the deep connection between food and daily life in Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is widely regarded as one of the more stable countries in Central Asia. It experiences no active wars or large-scale conflicts, and violent incidents targeting civilians or tourists are rare. The capital city, Tashkent, is often described as peaceful and calm compared to many other regions that have experienced unrest. By contrast, neighboring Afghanistan has faced significant humanitarian challenges in recent years. According to international reports, ongoing conflicts have resulted in widespread displacement and food insecurity, with millions of people requiring emergency aid. Restrictions on women's public participation in education have also been reported by human rights organizations. In terms of gender representation, Uzbekistan has made progress in women's political participation. Around 17.5% of parliamentary seats are held by women, ranking third among former Soviet states, after Belarus and Latvia. The country's legal framework also prohibits polygamy, with penalties including fines or prison sentences for violations. Daily life in Uzbekistan blends tradition and modernity. Cultural respect for women is evident in many social interactions, and hospitality remains a core value. Peaceful conditions do not mean a lack of activity. Tashkent offers vibrant nightlife with cafes, music venues, and bars that stay open late into the night. Certain activities, however, remain strictly regulated. For example, the operation of brothels and related activities is illegal and can carry severe penalties. Reports suggest that economic hardship contributes to unregulated underground activity, highlighting broader social challenges. Additionally, casinos are not a common feature of the entertainment landscape in Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is rich in gold but faces severe water scarcity. In the town of Muinak in Karakalpakstan, an autonomous region of Uzbekistan, an unusual scene unfolds: ships stranded on desert sands. This area was once home to the Aral Sea, which covered about 68,000 square kilometers and was the 4th largest lake in the world after the Caspian Sea and Lake Superior. Decades ago, this lake supported a thriving fishing community of more than 100,000 people. Today, after approximately 70 years, most of the water has disappeared, leaving behind the Arakam Desert, often referred to as the youngest desert on Earth. The town's population is now around 18,000, composed largely of older residents caring for grandchildren, as younger generations work elsewhere, along with livestock herders and cotton industry workers. This environmental shift began during the Soviet era, from the 1960s to the 1990s, when the Amu Darya and Sir Darya rivers were diverted to irrigate millions of hectares of cotton fields. As a result, the Aral Sea steadily shrank, and today only a few small remnants of water remain. The region now experiences extreme climates, with summer temperatures reaching 50 degrees Celsius and winter temperatures dropping to -40. Research indicates that dust levels in the region nearly doubled between 1984 and 2015, contributing to soil salinization and damaging crops far from the former shoreline. Scientific studies have also found that this dust contains residues from agricultural chemicals and other pollutants, which have been linked to environmental and health challenges, including higher rates of certain diseases in the local population compared to global averages. The story of the Aral Sea serves as a significant example of how large-scale changes to natural water systems can have lasting environmental and human consequences. Globally, similar patterns have been observed, with tidal flat areas shrinking by thousands of square kilometers over the past 2 decades. Love discovering rare stories like Uzbekistan's gold mines? Subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss the next hidden history. In Uzbekistan, one of the most popular types of saunas is called a hammam, which many people enjoy visiting. These saunas are typically built of stone or brick with a domed roof to retain heat. Guests enter the steam room and sit or lie on the stone floor to sweat, after which attendants may use natural herbal soap for scrubbing to promote relaxation and cleanliness. The most famous hammam is Bozori Cord Hammam in Bukhara, built between the 14th and 15th centuries and still operating today. Several other hammams in Tashkent and Samarkand are also well known. Most facilities feature different temperature rooms, ranging from mildly warm to very hot. Visitors can choose the level of heat they are comfortable with and adjust their stay accordingly. In addition to hammams, Uzbekistan also offers a unique hot sand steam bath experience near the Aral Desert. This involves covering the body with naturally heated sand, which reaches about 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. The sand is believed to contain mineral properties that may help with joint and muscle relaxation and support overall well-being. A traditional hammam visit typically costs between 50,000 and 150,000 Uzbek som, roughly $5 to $15, depending on the location. Additional services such as scrubbing or massage may cost more. Premium hammam experiences can be significantly more expensive. The sand steam bath usually lasts 20 to 40 minutes, with shorter durations recommended for comfort and safety. Interestingly, in Uzbekistan, not all houses are built from cement, steel, or modern materials. Tens of thousands of mud brick homes remain, particularly in historic areas such as Kava, Bukhara, and Samarkand. In Khiva's Ichin Kala, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, around 250 ancient mud brick houses remain well preserved. These bricks are traditionally made by mixing clay, sand, and straw, forming them into blocks and drying them under the sun. The houses typically feature thick walls, small windows to help maintain internal temperatures, and flat roofs. Many include courtyards shaded by trees. Mud brick houses remain popular because they provide natural insulation, staying cool in Uzbekistan's scorching summers, which can reach 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, and warm during freezing winters, reducing the need for artificial heating or cooling. Uzbekistan's metro system, especially in Tashkent, is recognized as an impressive example of the nation's architectural heritage. Opened in the late 1970s, it was the first metro system in Central Asia. Each station in the Tashkent metro features unique designs decorated with mosaics, chandeliers, marble columns, and detailed tile work that reflect various cultural themes. For instance, the Cosmonautlar station, known for its blue lighting and mosaics of astronauts, pays tribute to space exploration. The architectural style blends elements of Islamic design, traditional Uzbek art, and Soviet-era modernism, offering visitors both practical transport and a cultural experience. Beyond its visual appeal, the Tashkent metro serves an important role in daily life, reportedly transporting around 250,000 passengers each day. Spanning 4 lines with 29 stations and stretching nearly 60 kilometers, it functions as both a transportation network and a cultural landmark. Several stations are recognized as heritage sites, attracting visitors and architecture enthusiasts from around the world. Korsu Bazaar in Tashkent is another significant landmark, long associated with the Silk Road's history of trade. The market is widely regarded as one of the largest open-air markets in the region. It features a wide range of produce, from fresh fruits and vegetables to nuts and spices, reflecting Uzbekistan's rich agricultural traditions. Under its striking central dome, which showcases intricate Islamic architectural motifs and colorful tiles, visitors find not only food but also handicrafts and souvenirs. Ceramics, textiles, carpets, and ikat-patterned garments highlight Uzbekistan's artistic and cultural legacy. Here, everyday life is rich with unique rituals that reflect deep-rooted cultural values. One such ritual is the gesture of raising a hand to the face and saying amino after a meal, expressing gratitude, a custom widely practiced in Uzbekistan. Respect for the elderly is important. Traditionally, the eldest person rides in front of a horse, symbolizing their honored status. A notable tradition in Uzbekistan is the tea ceremony, integral to the nation's culture and social customs. Tea, especially green tea known as kok chai, symbolizes hospitality and community. In the Tashkent region, black tea is also popular. Serving tea to guests is a sign of respect, and declining it is often considered impolite. Tea is served in small handleless bowls called pialas, which encourage multiple servings and conversation. The tea is poured from a decorated teapot, or chonak, and typically poured back into the pot 3 times to ensure it is well mixed. The eldest or most honored guest is usually served first. The ceremony involves cleaning the tea bowl with a few drops of hot tea, which are poured back into the pot 3 times before sipping. The piala is filled only halfway to show respect and allow frequent refills, strengthening social bonds. Tea is often served with bread, naan, and sweets or dried fruits, highlighting the generous hospitality of the host. This tea ritual fosters relaxation and conversation, connecting family, friends, and communities. Tea has been a part of Central Asian culture for centuries, shaped by trade along the Silk Road. Uzbekistan's position as a cultural crossroads has enriched its tea traditions with influences from Persia, China, and Russia. Even in modern urban settings, these traditions endure. Serving tea remains a daily ritual in Uzbek households, and tea houses, or chaikhanas, continue to be popular social gathering spots. If you visit the capital, Tashkent, and speak Russian, it may be easier to communicate and connect with locals, as Russian is still widely used in daily life. However, note that the climate can be very hot, especially in midsummer in cities like Tashkent, Bukhara, and Samarkand, where temperatures can exceed 50 degrees Celsius. For a more comfortable experience, many travelers prefer to visit between August and November. During this time, despite lingering heat, you can enjoy seasonal nuts and fruits at reasonable prices. Uzbekistan's rich historical heritage, shaped by the Silk Road, attracts visitors interested in architecture, photography, and culture. In cities like Bukhara, Tashkent, and Samarkand, evenings remain lively. Restaurants often feature traditional Uzbek music and dance performances in public squares, with performers wearing colorful Central Asian costumes that highlight the region's artistry and heritage. Alcohol is available in Uzbekistan, including in nightclubs and restaurants, for those who choose to drink. Nightlife venues, especially on weekends, can become busy, offering a lively atmosphere for visitors seeking entertainment. Tashkent also carries a significant historical memory of the earthquake it experienced in 1966, which registered a magnitude of 8. The disaster destroyed tens of thousands of buildings and left many residents homeless. With extensive reconstruction support from the Soviet Union, the city was rebuilt into a modern urban center and now features landmarks such as its metro system. Today, much of Tashkent consists of mid-rise apartment buildings constructed after the earthquake, often designed with practical layouts, typically 2-room apartments averaging around 70 square meters. In recent years, rental prices have increased significantly due to a rise in demand, influenced by economic factors and migration from neighboring regions, including Russia. You might be surprised to learn that while a traditional wedding can be costly, Uzbekistan's overall cost of living is reported to be among the lowest in Central Asia. A single person's monthly expenses, excluding rent, typically range from $450 to $600. Rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in the city center generally ranges from about $213 to $524, while apartments outside the center often range between $213 and $368. Basic utilities for a small apartment average around $50 per month. Internet services with speeds of about 60 megabits per second or higher are relatively affordable, averaging $8 to $13 per month. Grocery prices are also moderate. For example, a gallon of milk is around $4.11, and a dozen eggs costs about $1.82. A meal at an inexpensive restaurant is roughly $4.84, while dining at a mid-range restaurant for two may cost around $22. Even combo meals at fast food chains are relatively low, averaging $3.39. Overall, compared to many Western countries, Uzbekistan is often considered more affordable, which can make it appealing for travelers or expatriates seeking a lower-cost lifestyle. So the journey to explore Uzbekistan has come to an end. After traveling around this country, what impressed you the most? Was it the peaceful nature of this Central Asian gem, the incredible wealth hidden beneath its deserts, or perhaps the beauty and freedom of its women? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment and love hearing your perspectives on these hidden corners of our world. If you found these facts about Uzbekistan fascinating, make sure you're subscribed because next week we're exploring another country that will completely shatter your preconceptions. Don't forget to hit that like button if you learned something new today. It helps other curious minds discover these incredible stories about our world's most misunderstood places. And if you're planning your next adventure, maybe Uzbekistan just made it onto your list. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.